Hey, it's time for TV Skywriter.
Hello, everybody. Usually I say good evening, but in this case, good morning, because our guests today are in Nairobi, Kenya. I'm Pat Murray. This is TV Skywriter. This is a show where I introduce you to really cool people that I want you to know. So what we're going to do is to talk with these folks from Nairobi, Kenya. Let's get started. These are the people from the African Slum Journal, led by Ken Odhiambo. Welcome to the show, people.
Thank you so much, Pat.
I feel like I'm speaking to celebrities. I'm a huge fan of media. And when I found the African Slum Journal on the internet, I was very excited.
We are also excited of your work you're doing. When you asked us if we could feature in your show, we were really grateful, and we watched some of your show, and that's why we couldn't hesitate to appear in your show.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. One thing I want to point out to my American audience, we're using the word slum. I know for us it's sometimes a bit of a rude word, but it's okay. This is the word that's being used. It's okay to say slum. So I just wanted to point that out, because some people are saying, "Oh my God, she's insulting them," but no, this is not it's not an insult. Not an insult.
That's what we are. That's the language that everyone is using.
Okay.
Of course, there's privileged people, but call the spoon, a fork is a slum.
Okay. So tell us what you do, sir, with African Slum Journal.
Okay. My name is Ken Odhiambo. I'm the managing director of the Nairobi Community Media House, and the Nairobi Community Media House, we produce different formats, and the journal is one of them. In the journal, we produce human interest stories, and we have a big team behind me. You can see we have editor Jimmy Kitiru here. We also have some reporter, Edna, and then we have Rab, who is also our administrator. And then we have Thomas at the far end, and then we have Lomoro at the far end.
So this is your production studio.
Yeah, we are in the editing studio, which of course is the production studio. So this is one of the edits that we have.
So the whole idea, if I understand correctly, is that the people in the slums have not had a voice before. And you started this for the same reason I started my newspaper when I was in Chicago. And that is, when you're in a low-income area and you let somebody else tell your story, they're going to get it wrong. And they are also going to miss the positive stories. Am I right?
You're right, but because this is what normally happens. When you let other people from outside come and tell your story, they never tell your story the right way. And we have always been having a problem of neglect, whereby you don't get most of our nice stories getting online. You only get, or being broadcasted, you only get stories that are negative. For example, maybe someone has been shot in the slums, something has been stolen in the slums, there's fire in the slums. So these are the kind of things you get. A champion is coming from the slums, and we need to hear about these guys. That's why we decided, okay, let's tell our own stories. And I'm grateful that the team has also been really grateful to tell our own stories, because we also come from around there, so we can tell the story.
So how did you get your start? Was this your idea?
The idea was mine when I started. I had a small company that was doing media production, but not really like. Then from Voices of Africa Media Foundation, the proposal, they liked the reporting our own, and they decided to participate. Foundation helped us to start the whole idea.
Okay, I noticed we're having a terrible lagging problem. So I'll have to do some editing. So if you could say that last part again, that would be great, about the African Foundation. If you could say that again, that would be great.
The whole idea started with my own initiative when I started reporting and doing stories. But then we did a proposal to a Dutch organization called Voices of Africa Media Foundation. They liked the idea, and they decided to partner with us to tell our own stories. So they helped us in terms of training of the staff, and also getting equipment. So they helped us to kickstart the initiative.
Okay, now I'm fascinated. You said you were from the slums, right? But yet you had a media company. I want to know, how did this happen? Is it easy to go to university if you're from the slums or anywhere?
It's unfortunate that many people think that there's nothing good that can come out of the slums. But I think we have a big team here that shows you that there are good things that can come out of the slums. Personally, I went to study film and TV production in Denmark, where I studied production and things like that. So when I came back home, I was able to initiate the whole idea of what I learned when I was away. And this was also, let's say I was privileged, because I was following my heart, doing video productions, and I got a scholarship to study film and TV production. So that's how it started.
That's beautiful. Now, I have no trouble believing that good things come out of the slums, because after all, my idea for starting my newspaper was because in my low-income area, people were missing the good stories. But you said it with such ease that I was fascinated. Even here, it's not always easy to go to university if you don't have money. And that's why I wanted you to fill that in. I was just wondering if it was easy to get a scholarship, if it was easy to go to university.
I would say I was just among the lucky ones, but I do say that it's also hard work. And many people in the slums, they're really hardworking. If they get an opportunity, they can really prosper. For example, we have Jimmy here. Jimmy is from the university. And he's one of us, he's from the slums. So everyone can come from the slums and achieve whatever they want. So I don't think that education is a big problem. The only problem is that it is not facilitated in the slums. We're not given that opportunity. We don't get that quality education. But with the current public education that we are having, I think things are changing. Things are changing also. And also the social media that is also giving people access to information is making people to open up their minds and also be bold to approach other people for fundings and also institutions for learnings.
I think it's very important. To me, information is very, very important, which is why I think the media is of utmost importance in every community. In Chicago, where I'm from, just about every neighborhood has its own newspaper. My neighborhood did not. And even though I'm not a trained journalist, I decided we needed a newspaper. So I had one sheet of paper, but you have to start somewhere, right? So that's how I started, with one sheet of paper, and I went on from there. But I think the information to me is a huge, huge factor in making it in life. If you don't have information, it's going to be very hard to reach for anything above your head.
You're right, Pat, because with the coming now, if you see with the coming of mobile phones and enabling people now to access even internet on their phone, it is enabling many people to access information. And in the slums, as you know, not only the slums in Africa, the number of mobile phones are really high. Almost there's a mobile phone per house. Almost there's a mobile phone in every house.
Wow. Really?
True. Yeah. And this is really opening up information. Once in a while you're walking or you're seated in a public transport, information. Something has just happened in your neighborhood, or something has happened in the country. So you're up to date in the day-to-day news.
That's huge. That's really huge. I think I mean, with your taking part in this as a media house, I think that is really fantastic. Now, it was occurring to me that your stories, some are really positive, and I love the guy who takes the old tires and makes shoes. I think that's fantastic. But you also cover the difficult stories, drugs, and just inner city, what we call inner city problems. And I'm wondering, is your audience the people in the slums, or the people like me who have no idea that the slums exist, or just live far away and don't know about the slums in Kenya?
Okay, I think I should not only answer for everyone, because we have reporters here. Everyone could also answer for themselves, so that it's not like me only representing the group. Of course, I'm representing the group, but it's good also for them to say the truth, because the journals are only meant for the people in the slums. They're also meant for people outside. not necessarily from the slums, also stories from outside. So I think Jimmy, you can also respond on this. Where do we tell our stories? Where do we get our stories from? Another question, please. Come closer. You can speak louder.
I was wondering who your audience is when you make your stories. Is your audience the other people in the slums or the people from outside the slums who need to know the good and the bad?
When we make our stories, one of our audience, of course, is you, and also the people from the slums, because sometimes we go and screen there once we have done the story, apart from putting it on the net.
Yeah, we normally go back. We normally go back to the slum also to screen for them so that they can also learn from the other communities also around them. So they see, for example, in their area they have a problem with the maybe sanitation, and in another area people have toilets. So they see, okay, these people are doing it this way, so we can also do it this way. So they learn from each other.
Oh, you can share ideas. Okay. I like that. I like that a lot. So do you ever have communities coming together to work together? Or like, for example, the only slum name I remember is Kariobangi. So suppose something's happening over there, okay? Then people in other slums can say, we want that. But how do they get that? Like toilets or whatever. If they see it on African Slum Journal and they want something to happen, how do they achieve it?
In most cases, what happens is that we connect them with the people who are doing the thing, like with the organizations that are doing the project. For example, we have a story that we did on an open library. And in this open library, you find these kids who are reading outside in the open, they're reading outside, having a small bulb in the night, they're reading. But then people saw their problem, and then people stepped in and now built for them a real library. So you see, we are also communicating.
Oh, okay. Because actually, I was at a Kenyan restaurant last night showing them African Slum Journal, and we were together watching the one you're talking about, called Africa's Smallest Library.
Yeah.
And we were saying together, they need solar lights. They have so much sun. But solar light, because I use solar lights to save on my electricity. So I collect, sunlight in a little jar, and at night I bring it inside and I use that. And we were thinking, oh, maybe they should use that for the library since they're sitting outside. I don't know.
You're right. They're also trying to invent their own ways. You can see they have a small solar light, but it is not that powerful. So our message is just to pass out information of what is happening. So it is upon people like you who have seen it to now make their own initiative. You've played our part, we've reported. So other people to play the initiative.
That's awesome. I'm curious. I see this huge production studio behind you, and I'm wondering how many computers do you have? How big is your staff? And also tell us about training, the training of your staff and reporters.
Jimmy, you want to talk about that?
We have here in this edit suite, we have 3 iMac computers. Then we have another. Yeah, then we have another one on the other side, the second edit suite. Mm-hmm. And this one that we're actually talking about. Mm-hmm. We also have a sound recording area, a small studio that we use to record our voiceovers.
Nice.
And we have a small place where we have some tea.
Oh, okay. What kind of software do you use?
We use Final Cut here.
Whoa. I'm hoping to get Final Cut one day. I'm still saving up for it. That's a wonderful program.
Sure.
Yeah. There's some also who use, it's called what? Adobe Premiere.
Nice. Okay. Now, in terms of equipment, I think I saw on your website you're trying to raise money for a camera. Are you still doing that? Are you still needing a camera?
Yeah, we are still raising some sourcing for funds on our website, at least to raise funds for buying our camera, because the camera we are having is only one, and we sometimes struggle with it because sometimes there are assignments and we have to divide it. So we have to do proper planning whereby we splitting the number of days of when we have to film. So these are sometimes it's a challenge because sometimes some stories are really urgent, need to be told, and another crew has taken the equipment that's gone out. So that's why that's funding for them.
What kind of cameras do you use, or camera do you use?
We use Canon 305 HD.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, so we use HD cameras. You have to use HD cameras because if you don't use HD cameras, then you don't get good quality and then it will not pass.
Okay. I just got a new camera a few months ago and I'm loving it. It's I can't remember what it's called. Nikon D5500, and it's really nice. It's what they call a I'm not well versed. What's it called? DSLR, I guess it's called.
DSLR, yeah. You can change the lenses.
Yeah. Well, if I had lenses, I could change them. I only have one lens right now, but it's wonderful, and it's changed my life because having good equipment, I found out. I was using a toy camera before, just a little cheap camera, but when you have good equipment, you can really tell some great stories.
You're right, Patricia, because when we started with the mobile phone. We were reporting with mobile phones.
Mm-hmm.
And then we saw there were challenges. Of course, we were small guys, we were starting, so we were initiating. So everyone was liking it. But by the end of the day, you'll hear someone saying, oh, the quality, oh, the picture is not good, the sound is not good. So we said, okay, why should we not upgrade? And then
exactly. That's how I started, right.
Yeah, so we upgraded. That way we upgraded. And now you can see our qualities are acceptable somehow. They're acceptable.
Actually, the first thing they said at the Kenyan restaurant when we were watching African Slum Journal, the first thing we said was, "Good picture."
Thank you. It's a lot of effort anyway.
So are you the principal trainer, or does the staff also go to school for journalism?
Most of our staff have interest in media. Most of them have gone through media training, and that is also one of the categories that we also recruit. And some of them have also not gone through media training, but they have passion for media, and that's how we also recruit them. But most of them have gone through training, and then we take them in, and then we train them again to work our way, because you have to work our way. So we have to train you how we do it and things like that. But then they get it quite a little bit faster. So we're on the road. You can see us.
Okay. Now, again, I said this earlier that your stories are wide-ranging, from cute to very, very serious. And I'm wondering, do you have a meeting and throw ideas around, or do you assign the stories as the director or the manager?
I think, as you said, our story are ranged according to a variety of topics. Somebody just pops in the morning and say, "Hey guys, I've seen an interesting story about this thing. How do you think we can do this story?" So we sit down in our small boardroom accommodating like 6 people or 7. Then we brainstorm over it. We write a script, and we plan for the shoot and how to tell the story before we go out there.
Interesting.
Of course, I have to approve.
Yes,
Now, I have to ask you about language. I know when I'm watching some of your stories, people are speaking languages I've never heard. And I'm wondering, when you're doing a story with people in the slums, are they all speaking Luo or one particular language, or are there different languages being spoken? I noticed that all of the reporters know English, but the people you're interviewing, are they all speaking different languages? Because my ear can't tell.
First of all, you need to understand that in Kenya we have 2 official languages, one is Swahili and the other one. So a lot of people speak Swahili, and those who are a little bit learned, they speak both of them. So when we go there to the slums, we speak to them Swahili. That is to make it.
Okay.
Yeah. Then when we come here, we edit the story. Then we do subtitling in English.
Oh, okay. Because yesterday, Ken, you were telling me that there were 42 different groups. So I didn't know if, who was living in the slums, how many different ethnic groups or tribes or whoever is living in the slums. Are they all from different groups?
Yes.
The slum is metropolitan. It's inclusive of everyone from all over. Imagine these people have migrated from different parts of the countryside to come to the city to look for a living. So they have to learn a language that is common for all of them, despite the fact that they come from all these 42 other tribes. But then the Swahili is a national language which we use on the streets. And then we have English, which is our colonial language, also our official language when we go to offices. That's why we speak it in English.
So I would say then most people speak at least three: the colonial language, the national language, and then the tribal language?
Yeah, correct.
Very right. By default, when you're born, you speak your mother tongue, which is your local language, and then you go to school, you speak English, and then on the streets, when you're learning and playing as a kid, you speak Swahili, so you get three by default.
And of course, we have other people who speak more.
Oh, more.
How about that? This is really wonderful. This is really wonderful what you're doing. And I'm loving that I'm speaking to people in Kenya. I'm a DJ also, and I play lots of music from various African countries. In Chicago, I only knew about West African music. I only knew about Nigeria and Ghana, that's all. And also South Africa. But since moving here to Durham, North Carolina, suddenly I'm meeting people from Eastern Africa, Tanzania and Kenya. And now I would say most of my African music in my collection is actually from Eastern Africa. I have a lot of music from Kenya.
Who is your favorite artist?
What'd you say?
Who is your favorite artist?
I only have a couple of songs by Bruce Othiombo, but I love him. Mercy Myra, Abbas Kubaf. P Unit is Nigeria, right? Is P Unit? Yeah.
Kenyan, it's Kenyan.
Oh, Kenya. Okay. I have to look at my list. Let me go to iTunes and name a few more. Let me mispronounce more names for you. Let's see, Kenya. Let's see. Abbas Kubaf, Nonini, Ali Kiba, Ali B, Ayub Ogada, Big Pin, Camp Mula. Let's see, Christine Mumbi Karanja. Let's see, Daddy Owen. No, wait, that's Nigeria. Why is it in there? El Tezi, Eunice and Jiri, French Boy.
Oh, you have a lot.
Jua Kali. I have a bunch. That radio lady, Kaleche.
Yeah, Kaleche, yeah.
Matrax, Mr. Lenny. Let's see. A few more. I'm not gonna name all of them, of course. Size 8.
Size 8.
Yeah. I have at least 78 artists.
We can see that.
So I love the music.
The recordings of your DJ sessions.
I should do that. Oh, that right. I wanted to ask you another question. Right. At the end of a couple of your videos, I saw music videos by local artists. And I'm wondering, they're really talented. So when you are showing videos by local artists, are they successful or in the beginning stages of their career? Because there's a couple of them that are really, really good.
What happened, the music that you see at the end was a project that we used to call Music from the Slum. So we used to promote our own unknown artists who are not known to the mainstream media. So we could make, and also they could not have money to do some music videos, so we could support them in doing this music video and also promoting it towards the end of our channels. It is hard to break into the media, into the music industry, as you know, also over there, but at least we've given them a platform. We've given them a platform to showcase what they have. But
Well, I love that. I think that is a fantastic idea, and I hope you are able to do that more.
Unfortunately, we had to go easy on it because we didn't have funding for it. But there's a lot of demand from people who want to record with us. But we cannot because it's expensive for us to do it if we don't have funding for it.
That's true. But everything is digital now. So maybe in the future, when you get more funds, because I know you probably need a camera more than to promote music right now. But hopefully when the money starts pouring in, you can resume, because everything's digital. You don't have to press records or press CDs. Everything is, MP3 now.
You're right. It is one of the ideas that we had. We even have a sound studio here that would also help in promoting these audio recordings. So it cuts down the cost, and most of the things we also do them around. So it was a good idea, and we really would like to embark on it because most artists are really asking us, "Oh, why did you leave us out? Why did you leave us out?" Things like that.
And it's just giving the slums yet another voice, in my opinion.
Of course, because when they sing of the issues that are affecting them, and they sing of the issues that they see every day, and they also sing with solutions. They come with solutions of how they can solve the problem. So for me, I think the music industry that was developing the slums was a good idea. Music of the slum was a good idea, and we hope to work on it if we get forward.
Okay, so I'm looking forward to hearing more. So what stories are you?
Yeah.
There you are.
Sorry. There's a technical problem all of a sudden.
That's okay. I just knew you were going to come back. So I think I was asking. What was I asking? I noticed that your staff is working behind you, and I'm wondering if they're working on future stories, and if you're able to tell us what they will be.
I think Rab, you should come close here and tell us what you're working on. I think you should at least get also a lady, not only me. Rab is our administrator. The good thing about working in the community media is that everyone can do all the jobs. Everyone can edit. Everyone can film. Everyone, so it gives us a lot of multitasking on one person. So Rab, you can answer that one.
Hi, I'm Rahab.
A little bit louder.
I'm Rahab. I'm the administrator. For now, I'm working on a story to be posted on Monday. It is about the women, International Women Day. So the message is be bold for change. So we did a story on Wednesday, and I'm preparing it for upload. So it will be there on Monday. You can find it. You can watch it. It's very nice.
I will.
Yeah.
How long does it take to work on a story?
Yeah, depending on who is on the work we have, maybe 2-3 days. When I edit, or when Jimmy is editing, he has other projects, so I must wait for him to finish the other projects for him to start editing. So it takes, depending on the work we have, 3 to 2 days.
Oh, 2 days. Okay. It's fun, right? Isn't it fun? I love to edit.
Not so much. I don't like it so much because I'm much of an accountant, but I do it.
Well, still, it's a good skill to have. Not everybody has that skill.
Yeah.
But that's what we try to do here. We try to have multitasking so that one person does not do everything. So at least everyone knows all the stages of production. So at least one person starts, maybe he's a camera person, he can bring it, someone else edits. And then for subtitling, someone else takes it for color correction. Then it is not all in one person.
Mm-hmm. Are there any stories that you wish you could cover that you cannot?
Yeah.
I had one. It was about they were called African dramas, something like that. And at first they agreed to do the story. So we had already prepared the script and everything. We are planning for the day to go shoot. Then all of a sudden, I don't know what happened. They started, we are busy, you cannot come. And then like that, the story was gone. But it was a very good story. I still want it, but I can't force them.
Well, sometimes people have to think about it. Sometimes when I approach people for an interview, they say no. And I say, well, think about it. And sometimes it takes a long time, but sometimes they do come back and they say, yeah, I'm ready. So
I'll give them time.
Yeah, that normally happens also in our career, because then you have to chase people, follow them up. You have to convince them to also like you, especially in stories that we do in areas that are not in the slums. So you have to go try to sweet talk them so that they can agree. But in the slums, it's much easier because we tell stories of people. So it's much easier. Yeah.
Well, I'd love the idea of the library. Like I said, we were watching that last night from the Kenyan restaurant. It's called Palace International, by the way. You can look it up on the internet, and I think you would love to see that. But, yeah, Palace International, Durham, North Carolina. But but while watching this video about the library, I was wondering, do the politicians come to the slums to also hold town hall, what we call here town hall meetings, where they talk about what the community wants? Does that happen in the slums of Nairobi? The local politicians and also people running for president?
They only come when they need you to vote them back. Like right now, because it is almost time to put them back to power, they are there almost every day. But after that, you'll never see them again.
That sounds very familiar, actually. That sounds very familiar.
Yeah, it's common. But at least sometimes when we were trying with the Bunge Mtaani, where we go back and screen the things, we could at least involve the local authorities, like probably the area chief and probably sometimes also the local representative of the people, like councillor. But rarely do you find like policy makers coming for such kind of things. They're busy doing other things. That's why I think also the slums and also people like us are taking the initiative to raise our own voice.
I think it's very important. And I'm really glad that you're doing this fantastic work. I think it's really awesome. So I don't want to keep you too long because this is the end of your day, right?
Yeah, sure.
This is the beginning of the beginning of my day and the ending of yours. So, so my last question will be, what is your ultimate goal of African Slum Journal? What is it that you really, really, when you look back, when you get old and gray like me, what do you want to say that you achieved as African Slum Journal?
I think the first thing would be empowering people, especially we've empowered people from our communities. At least they've been able to get some employment. And the biggest thing that I really would like to see is the replication of the same idea, because there are many other countries also with, who have been neglected. People who are suffering also themselves. So my biggest dream would be to see the same replication of the community media houses into other countries, so that they also can have their own community media houses and they can tell their own stories.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much for being on the show, and thank your whole staff for me. I really appreciate your being here. So folks, we just learned an awful lot from the African Slum Journal. That is a fantastic, it's a video series, it's a video journal. I don't know what to call it, but it is the best of community media, the way it should be done. I'm learning a lot from them myself. And there is a lot to be learned. So check them out. What is the, is it africanslumjournal.com, right?
www.africanslumjournal.com.
Right. So be sure to go there, africanslumjournal.com. Just explore, look at the stories. And if you're like me, if you're in community media, go there and learn a lot. Also, if you're able to help, I think you have 2 fundraising campaigns, one for a camera, and I believe one for just general support, right, of the organization?
Yeah. Yes, for supporting the journals, because the other approach that we also use, people can support journals. They can say, we want this kind of journals to be made. So they support us by giving us a small funding that will enable us to do journals of their choice.
Wonderful. So be sure to do that, folks. So this is Pat Murray signing off. This is my first show where I'm actually talking to people from what we call here the motherland, and I'm very excited. So thank you very much. If you'd like to be a guest on TV Skywriter, all you have to do is contact me on Twitter at Durham Skywriter. You can write to me, durhamskywriter@yahoo.com or durhamskywriter@gmail.com. With that, this is Patricia A. Murray signing off. Ciao for now.